My name's Geoff Hannah, and this is the latest major piece of work called the Hannah cabinet, not named after myself but after my family. Well, probably it all began with my father being a sleeper cutter and a girder cutter in the bush, and then he worked in a sawmill several years later when I started to grow up a bit for a while before we went dairy farming. But I suppose that's where the foundation could have come from. I was always kind of interested in making things out of wood from that early stage.
So your dad as a sleeper cutter, what do you think he'd make of this?
Well, Dad always used to love, every time I'd do something, he'd love showing it off to someone. He'd say, "Oh, have you seen what Jeffrey's doing?" You'd go around and have a look, you know. Of course, it would have been good for him to see what is happening later in years, you know, with it. These are all Queensland maple from Queensland. This is all figured maple. I left school when I was 14 and I walked into an apprenticeship at the time, so that was very fortunate, you know. And then in 1980, I was told to apply for a Churchill Fellowship to study overseas, so I got the application and I was successful in it, and I was awarded a Churchill Fellowship to go to London and Paris to study. This here's jasper. That's the biggest piece of stone I've actually cut and polished in one piece. A drawer in here out of mahogany, and it's all dovetailed together, and then it's got snakeskin sapelli veneered all over it on the inside and the outside of it. I had a more or less a simple upbringing in the furniture industry, like, you know, doing hand-cut dovetails and mortise and tenon and all that, but when you look at the French furniture or the English going back in the 18th century, well, it was really, really out there, you know. There's a piece of material off Marie Antoinette's bedroom. That was given to me by the workers in Versailles in 1980. This is the heart of the power shell from New Zealand. The power shell, it's a vivid blue and green, but if you turn the muscle over where the muscle attaches, it's purple and mauve. I'm in the workshop every morning at 7:30 and don't leave till 5 o'clock religiously, you know. And sometimes I even work longer, but they're pretty strict hours at your work. And of course, when you work for yourself, you've got to be disciplined. You've got to be in that workshop all the time to be able to make ends meet, you know, because you don't have the privilege of having superannuation or you know, or take a day off if you're sick, you know, like, so when you don't do it, you're not at that workbench, mate, you make nothing, you know.
Is this exactly how you imagined it at the start?
Yeah, I've still got the original drawing for it, and if you look at the original drawing and look at that cabinet, it hasn't moved off the mark. I think I was 6.5 years involved in it. I did go through patches at the time there where I thought, geez, look, I've got to finish it just in case I die, because I'd hate to die halfway through it, you know. This is the eagle. To be able to do that, you've got to draw it first. Someone said, "Oh, you're an artist," and I say no, because I work hard to get it right. That's tortoiseshell from the Second World War. The diggers used to bring back shells as mementos in those days, so that's why I try to save it. Purple heart from tropical America. I had that one hidden in the dark because it will fade in light. And just got little bits of pearl to decorate up the corners. Well, the cabinet that helped fund this one, it's called the Australiana cabinet, and it's in Antwerp in Belgium in the Grand Place. It's in a building there, looks out onto the Grand Place, and the cabinet before that is in the Providence of Yarralumla in the Governor General's residence. And then it more or less helped finance the Australiana cabinet, so that's how I will try and stay alive, is selling something previous that you can help fund it, you know. You never know where a sale will come from, but the thing is, at the moment, and I'd like to keep it here. I tried to keep the Australiana cabinet here for 7 years, but eventually it sold an overseas buyer. But when you see what the public have to say about it and how much enjoy they get when they come to see it when it's out on exhibition, it's another reason to keep working to keep it in Australia whether it's a museum or an art gallery or in one of the houses in Australia. So that's the objective now, is to try and keep it here, to sell it here.